Hello and welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Sunanda Jayseelan. On the show tonight, we're bringing you a conversation from our Surat Springboard, a series of conversations we do across the country to connect better with you, the small business owner. Our first piece tonight is a big picture as far as the startup ecosystem is concerned, and that's with our expert from IDFC First Bank. Our second conversation tonight is with experts from the diamond space, talking about how the world is changing as far as precious metals are concerned. Pooja Jain in conversation with our experts.
Great pleasure to welcome all of you in this great city of Surat for this Surat edition of this very fantastic event which we have been running successfully across the country. I'll quickly take you through, while the theme is textile, I'm sure Pooja will touch upon some of the other industries also. So I'll quickly take you through the basic agenda about what are we planning to have for this evening, and I'll quickly touch upon something about IDFC First Bank. Well, I think most of you are well aware about what Surat is all about in terms of textile. It is obviously India's largest producer of cotton, world's largest producer of cotton and jute in the world. While the increasing investments of around 900 crores for some amended technology upgradation fund scheme that has been released by the government of India. It is the second in terms of the largest producer of fiber and silk, while the government of India has been supporting very well in terms of policy. They have established some integrated mega textile parks across the country which will help the textile industry grow further. 14% of total exports, I think that is coming from the textile as far as India's export is concerned. About 45 million people are engaged in this sector directly for the textile industry. I think around 4% contribution towards overall GDP growth is extremely well planned, thought process behind building this entire textile industry for the country of India. It is growing with around 9% CAGR as far as the recent few years of growth are concerned. I think these are some of the most important thing about the textile industry as such. While Surat is known about not only about textile, I think it's obviously a wealth creation ground for us now. This diamond is something which is known across the world. Obviously, Surat is known not only about the diamond capital but also as the textile city of India. It is one of the oldest and the most prevalent industries of Surat as far as textile is concerned. I think some of the figures are simply amazing. Around 30 million meters of raw fabric and 25 million meters of processed fabrics are produced in Surat on daily. And the synthetic hub, I think that's something, it's astonishing figure in terms of 900 crore meters of fabric worth. Around 15,000 crores per annum. That's the kind of production which Surat is giving for the country. There are around 650,000 power looms in the city. Around 150-200 wholesale textile markets. Around 20,000 manufacturers and around 60,000 embroidery machines which are employed in Surat for the textile segment. The textile industry has grown considerably over few recent years, around 10% of CAGR growth, which I have already shared in my previous sheet. Gujarat government, obviously, along with the government of India, has been taking multiple initiatives to build this industry further from here onwards. And I'm sure the basic theme of what we have set for this evening, I think textile is there to grow in near future also. I think reasons for growth, obviously, government has supported raw material availability in the silk, manpower and logistics connectivity, which are all there, which I think they are all helping this industry really well as far as city of Surat is concerned. I'll quickly touch upon what IDFC First Bank is all about. It was formed with a merger of IDFC IDFC Bank, which was erstwhile given a banking license by Government of India. After it got merged with an entity called Capital First, both of them had their unique presence in the market as far as banking and the non-banking sides are concerned. While IDFC Limited or IDFC Bank was largely into infrastructure funding, Capital First came with their retail presence in terms of lending to underprivileged segment. They were expert in terms of lending to with people which are not even on bureau. And then the two of them joined to become a IDFC First Bank, which is I think one of the fastest growing bank in the country. Some of the figures which are there in front of you. Pre-merger, the CASA ratio was about 8.68. Now it is around 50% after the merger. The approach has helped us, make a strong foothold in the market. We have been seen as a very ethical bank, while all the banks will claim to do that, but we have been largely following up the real sense of ethical banking in our day-to-day operations. And some of the products which you can see here, credit card fees are extremely low. Some of the fast-tag products which we have offered, the app which we give away with current account and savings account, it's so very well integrated that you will not find any difference, and it's very intuitive. And once you use them, you will find that it is one of the best apps which are available in the market these days. While on the banking side for the corporates, we have clear plan for the early stage entities and obviously the growth stage entities. For the early stage entities, we have a entire startup setup ecosystem for us, which helps a new entity to build its presence in the market and probably further to scale up on that. Some of the help which they would need in terms of initial funding, we are there to help them with the help of some of the OD facilities which we are giving away, the credit card which we are giving to the startups which are helping them to manage their cash flows and working capital requirements. For the growth stage companies, we have a well set plan like any other universal bank. The working capital requirements, some of the working capital side of the API, which since we have positioned ourselves as one of the top banks in the technology segment, so all these facilities which can help a client work smoothly for their business banking operations, everything is available. All of us them are extremely well positioned and being taken really well. We have an excellent net banking platform. Mobile banking is extremely well positioned and very user friendly. Doorstep banking, CMS solutions. My best wishes to all of you, and I think looking forward to a great evening today. So thank you very much, and I welcome all of you once again.
I'm going to take a quick break on that note. Much more on the other side from our Surat Springboard. Do stay tuned. Back in just a moment. Welcome back. With us here on IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. You're watching our Surat Springboard.
I think it's well understood that the world's diamonds are typically sourced from Africa, Europe, more specifically Canada, Russia. So given the Russia-Ukraine crisis, what impact has it had on the diamond industry, and how bullish are you on its outlook going forward, sir?
As you rightly said, that a lot of diamonds in Surat come from Africa, the African subcontinent, from countries like Zambia, Namibia. There are also diamonds which come from Canada, Australia, Russia as well. And the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has had an effect in terms of supply chain constraints, because the diamond industry believes in being very credible and sustainable, and hence the Russian rough diamonds are currently not coming in Surat because of the trade embargoes by the US. So there are definitely supply chain constraints, but the other countries have increased their outputs, and the industry is resilient in that sort.
All right. Well, I think our second guest has now joined us. All right, Akshay Dholakia, huge round of applause. Kindly please do join us on stage. All right. Now, diamonds, Akshay, of course, constitute over 50%, right, of the export basket when it comes to gems and jewelry. And 90% of the world's diamonds are cut and polished in the city of Surat. So as an outsider looking in, why Surat? Let's answer something that fundamental. What is it that enables the diamond industry to flourish in this city?
So, I mean, I joined diamond industry maybe around 14 years back, but as per what I have heard, the diamond industry was initially not in India. It was in Burma. So, initially, when the Rajas and Maharajas, you know, they had special cutters and polishers, and diamonds were known by the name of the person who polished it. So, and then later on, due to some instability in those countries, the workers moved back to Surat and Navsari because they were from here. So that's how industry came in Surat. And then in early, maybe in the late 90s, when, you know, many mines came up and a few, the Russian government also, you know, started selling their own diamonds. And that's how it grew by few numbers.
Well, you know, if we were to look at recent, you know, state of affairs, whether it's favorable government policy, perhaps, or perhaps it's negligible competition in the city of Surat, or perhaps it's the easy and affordable accessibility to skilled labor or semi-skilled labor. You know, what role do those factors have to play? And, you know, Hardik, in your view, is the diamond industry kind of on the cusp of a consolidation wave, a saturation wave? You know, where do things currently stand?
Surat basically cuts and polishes around 8 out of 10 diamonds which are there in the world. It's a very known fact. Answering your question, the industry is currently in a nascent stage and growing. It contributes a significant share in terms of the total overall exports of the country. Now the industry has two distinctive parts. One is the loose diamonds and other is studded jewelry. Studded jewelry as a segment is currently picking up and Surat is really progressing on that front as well. And it's the entire ecosystem. It's the government policy, it is the skilled labor, it is the entrepreneurial spirit of all the people of Surat, as well as the availability of the rough and all the sourcing material as well. It's the education institutes which impart training and skills for the gems and jewelry industry. It is the certification labs. It is the government customs infrastructure. It is the airport. We have world-class facilities like Surat Diamond Booths, which is coming up in Surat, which is going to be the world's largest diamond booths, which is going to change the entire face of the trade, especially for the city of Surat.
Absolutely. And the one term you didn't mention are perhaps the karigars. Right? And I'd like to understand how this most traditional of industries is truly, you know, embracing technology. And do you see that with respect to how workers are upskilled? Or is it in better precision equipment? Or perhaps even improved safety protocols for these karigars? You know, has the diamond industry continued to flourish without embracing technology? Or is technology truly keeping pace?
No, there's a lot of technology in the diamond industry. If you, I mean, sometimes if you visit any of the diamond factories, there are lots and lots of machineries at each and every stage. But this has not led to, you know, reduction in any number of workers or maybe person doing the job. Because the machinery has helped, you know, to get better yield, better polish, better weight. So that's how machinery is helping. So it is not taking away the job of the workers. And to the improvement of the workers, you know, performance. Also industry has taken a lot of steps because before they used to sit on the floor and work and they used to work maybe 12 hours, 14 hours. But now if you look at it, there's only, I mean, 9 to 8 hours work shifts. They work in air-conditioned factories. Sitting on the chairs with proper lightings and all that.
Yeah. Is that something that you've also experienced? Because look, Surat is home to, I believe, you know, 7 lakh workers and 6,000 polishing units, all right? So one would imagine that this is a space that is extremely crowded, cluttered with competition, and yet the space seems to boast of a spirit of collaboration. You know, where does that ultimately stem from?
I completely agree with what Akshay said. I mean, diamond industry is such an industry which adopts technology when as it is there in the market. It spends a considerable amount of money even in research and development. There is robotic polishing, there is 3D printing technology which is there in our industry. There are systems, processes and ERPs which is specifically catered towards our industry. We also have custom 3D scanning technologies for diamonds as well as for jewelry. And the best part is that all the R&D for all these machinery is also happening in India, in Surat locally. And it is increasing jobs by adoption of technology. As he rightly said, the yield is increasing, the output is increasing, but employment is also increasing as well. And there are many factors and there are many players in Surat, but when it comes to the industry, all come together in harmony, and we see how we can take the industry further, how we can project Surat on an international and a global level.
All right. And you know, in spite, Akshay, of how much the industry has matured, okay, and its commercialization has grown, it's not quite run as a corporate. You know, the diamond industry seems to be largely driven in the city of Surat by multi-generation family-owned and operated enterprises. You know, is that trend here to stay? My question to you, and the two of you, of course, come from family-owned and operated businesses, so I'd really like your take on the extent to which outsiders in this line of work truly have a chance.
So, if you rightly said, there are, in the diamond industry currently, if you look at all the companies, I think 99% is family owned and operated. So I think this came into effect because the diamond industry runs on just simple trust. So if I am buying something, or maybe I am buying a rough, I am visiting Belgium or maybe Dubai, I buy a rough, I mean the rough diamonds. But those rough diamonds I am not carrying, it's coming in the parcel. But I am getting the same stones or same rough here. So that's the kind of trust. Nobody is switching the diamond, nobody is cheating on me. So until now it has not happened that somebody, you know, cheated us. Because this whole industry is very small, I mean small community. But runs on very, I mean very much trust. So the family part is always, you know, attached to those kind of things. And when the corporates come in, I mean, they are not operating their self. I mean, they will be hiring a you know, person, CEO and all that. So I don't know what can happen. Until now, all the companies are just family-run business.
All right. So if there are entrepreneurs in the audience, right, who are considering tiptoeing into this space, how do they take the first step, essentially? This seems to truly be a winner-take-all space, but perhaps that's not the case. Perhaps there's low-hanging fruit and opportunities for innovation where new blood, new thinking, new skill sets can be deeply valued.
There are a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs in this industry. There are opportunities in terms of technology. There is the new field in diamond is currently about traceability of the source and origin of diamond. So there is an implementation of blockchain which is happening. In terms of jewelry, there are different fields where there is innovation possibility in terms of design, manufacturing technique which results in minimum wastage of gold. Then there are opportunities in terms of IT development, in terms of systems of POS for selling jewelries. I mean, the entire industry has multiple areas and multiple places wherein new entrepreneurs can join in as startups. And currently in Surat, we are seeing those waves wherein we have had startups in Surat who are innovating in the gems and jewelry industry as well.
All right. And you know, as a last question before I move on the rest of the evening, I think Surat is where these diamonds essentially come to life. All right, they become the precious jewels and those prized gems that we wear. And ultimately, what we sometimes forget is that getting this business off the ground, right, involves meticulous financial planning. And a lot of times recovering from mishaps, recovering from market downturns. How does one find the wherewithal to withstand all of that and continue to proceed in this space?
So this is very difficult, because getting the initial finance, as I said, because it's a family-run business on the trust. So if somebody is, coming in the trade, there are relatives and other people who take responsibility on their behalf. So let's say if I am buying a rough as a newcomer to the industry, somebody will be, taking responsibility for my payments and all that. So that's how, I get a chance in the industry. So the people can start like that.
All right, and if you could weigh in on that, Hardik, the financial stability that's required to actually, fulfill one's dreams and aspirations in this space.
I think there are a lot of schemes by the government of Gujarat and government of India which provide that financial assistance. Traditional banking capital is also available, and there are a lot of diamond companies who they have their own venture arms which are funding innovative ideas. So if someone who has a great idea, has a great acumen for business and entrepreneurship in the industry, finding funds should not be an issue.
All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, if we could give both of our panelists a huge round of applause as we proceed with the rest of the evening. If I could kindly have both of you gentlemen, do please take your seats. Thank you so much.
Out of time in tonight's conversation, that was part 1 of our 3-part special series. We have the rest of the special series coming up. Do stay tuned for that.